What's going on, y'all? This is just another day. We were hanging out, and here's an opportunity to see our little Saturday afternoon Costco trip because we was bored in the house, and Costco wasn't far, so we just decided to hop up, get out, and go over to Costco. First thing we noticed walking in was, they had the Nintendo Switches right in the front, and they had to have had over 100 in stock, so the days of the scalpers are limited. You're not able to get any money after today because Costco has them all. And I just had to note that and point that out. Anybody looking for a Switch, go to Costco. They got plenty. I'm not going to buy one right now. I might get one for the kids for Christmas, but we're enjoying our PS5, our Switch One, and all the retro games that I saved growing up. I never threw them away, and my parents were not crackheads, so they did not sell them. So I just kept them all. So I have them all in my house, and we have all the originals. But here we are at Costco in South Sac, a nice family-friendly place to take the kids and just do a little bit of shopping before Father's Day. So here we are out there. The kids are going wild. They think it's a playground, but it's not a playground. It's just a place to pick up goods. And there's my wife and my oldest daughter. They're looking at the Disneyland tickets. They're about $350 per person for 3 days, with all the passes and all the bonuses and whatnot. Something I might check out in the future, as soon as I can afford to do all that. But here we are at Costco, just walking through the store, just minding our own business, checking things out. Am I wanted a Robux card? I told her no, because she doesn't need to be on Robux. She needs to be studying. I know it's the summer, but if you don't use it, you lose it. So, we're going to do some math drills when we get back home. But here we are. I'm walking past the T-Mobile booth, trying not to make eye contact with any of the salesmen because my T-Mobile service is great. I got a grandfathered plan. And so, here we are at Costco, just hanging out. Enjoying the Saturday afternoon. And I'm walking, and I'm not getting distracted by the Get in front of me. I'm just focused on picking things up. Look down the aisle to not make it obvious, not checking nothing out. Just keep it moving. Stay focused on the prize, which is picking up something for dinner. So here we are walking down the aisles, and the kids were thinking about fireworks because the 4th of July is coming up. Costco always has some sane fireworks. They had some confetti cannons over there we're going to take a look at in a little bit, just walking past the foliage. Sometimes you get in Costco and you just feel like a kid in a candy store because there's just so much they have to offer. But here are the confetti cannons and even more just, firework related materials. But I'll probably pick up our family fireworks later on in the month. Usually from a fireworks booth that is sponsored by a local kids program or a local school. But here we are, passing the meats and the fish and all that, and I had to put Brian in the cart because he likes to run around the store and just cause all kinds of havoc, but he's enjoying himself on his little ride in the cart. We're passing the Hot Links. I'm going to pick up a package because I'm going to be barbecuing tomorrow, but the focus on this trip was to find something for dinner. So usually I go by the Costco deli when I'm lazy, and they have all kinds of pre-made meals. They got the Korean beef bulgogi, which is what we kind of settled on today, but I almost picked up the quesadilla because they have the Spanish rice that the kids love. And Brian will eat a whole bowl of Spanish rice without even thinking twice about it. So we had to pass on that because there were only 8 tacos in the kit, and I would probably eat all 8 myself, and that wouldn't be fair to the rest of the family. So we settled on the Korean barbecue beef bulgogi, which is amazing with some fried rice or even white rice and broccoli. So that's what we settled on. And then the kids, they started to get a little restless and started playing in the store, but I had to remind them, it's not a playground, it's a Costco. So onward we go. I almost thought twice about the chicken enchiladas. Those are great too. You really can't go wrong with a lot of the Costco deli meals except for the tacos, which have coleslaw in them, which I really wouldn't want the chicken tacos, but Next time I'll probably try that quesadilla. You know, maybe if I can get a babysitter and watch the kids or drop them off somewhere. So we finish up our shopping, and the part that the kids love is going to the food court, because over there they get the pizza they love. Sometimes they get ice cream, sometimes they get cookies, sometimes they get hot dogs, but they really like the Costco food. But the problem is I was waiting in line to pick up the food, and they were over there begging the missus for everything under the sun. They wanted cookies, ice cream, candy, so I had to go ahead and get these kids and move them to a different area, so that way the missus could complete her purchase, because otherwise she'll be there fielding their begging ambitions for about 15 to 20 minutes and not able to complete the purchase. So we walked them right over to the area where I was hanging out at and told them to just stand by the cart and hold on to the table. They were upset, but they knew that they would be happy in the end. So here we are, just kind of hanging out, you know. They're bummed out because they can't beg no more, you know. So, yeah, they're just chilling. So the missus was able to complete the purchase. You know, I got the receipt. I'm gonna go ahead and wait in line, you know, with all these people. And we're just enjoying a day inside of the air-conditioned Costco in South Sac. Outside it must have been about 95 to 100 degrees, but inside it was nice and chill. And then the good thing about Costco is, you know, you don't gotta spend a whole lot. Hot dog $1.50, you know, slice of pizza $2. You know, so it was cool. And then I struck up a conversation with a gentleman next to me. He actually prefers to shop at the Elk Grove Costco because it's less busy, but he lives just like me, close to the Stockton Boulevard Costco, so that's the one we went to in South Sac. I prefer the Arden Expressway Costco because over there in Arden, or really Expo Boulevard, you know, they have a little bit different of a variety. If you haven't noticed, you know, Costco sometimes stocks different goods depending on where you're at. But here we are, hanging out, waiting for our food. No real drama popped off. I actually got to see one of my guys, Mr. Jones, today. One of my semi-pro football players that I played football with for a while, and we struck up a conversation. I got to meet his new baby, who looks just like him, just light skinned. So, man, congratulations, Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones. But anyways, here we are, just hanging out, you know, waiting for our food in the line at Costco. And then once again, I'd like to appreciate everybody who takes a gander at these videos, because I make a few dollars off of ad revenue and whatnot, and really, you know, I just enjoyed the production of it and doing it all. But anyways, here we are, just hanging out. Yep, I'm looking at the menu like maybe I might want to go buy something else, but you know, I'm just gonna hang tight. I got a lemonade with I got a strawberry lemonade and a chicken bake. So I'm excited all about it. And the kids each got a slice of pepperoni pizza. You know, the missus, I forgot what she got. I think she got a slice of pizza and a smoothie. But yeah, we were able to eat a nice cheap lunch after doing some shopping. Got dinner out the way and just hanging out doing dad things on the day before Dad's Day. Just hanging out, having a conversation with another dad while waiting in line for our food. The best thing about Costco is the service is quick. You know, it really shouldn't take people in line this long to get their order unless there's a problem. So here we are, kids, you know, happy to get their pizza. They're in full-on pizza mode. Just hanging out, chilling. I remember the days when my dad used to take me to Costco. It was great. Would always leave with a pizza or a cookie, or back in the day they had the combination pizza, which was great. I hope they bring it back. But yeah, here's the kids eating their pizza. Simple trip, and then now every good thing must come to an end, so we're on our way back, just walking back to the car in the parking lot, trying to find out where we parked at. Kids happy, ate a nice lunch, got dinner ready, it's on the way, low prep. All I gotta do is put it on the stove and cook it, and it's done. Thank you.